Do you really think I was going to miss a BFL? Nah. Boat's ready, motor's ready, and most importantly, I'm ready. As this weekend we kick off our 2019 BFL season on Kerr Lake. And there was a little bit of hesitation, a little bit of unknown as to whether I was going to even be able to fish this weekend or not. But luckily I have a really great boat guy, and I actually got my boat back in about a week or so. And I feel blessed for that. It's good to go. The air compressor was shot in it when we replaced that. And it was a pretty easy and quick fix. We just had to get the part, and all set, all ready to go. I ran the boat this weekend, and everything checked out good. We're looking good. So we are going to Kerr Lake. We are not going to be limited in any way. So cross our fingers and knock on wood. We won't have any issues with our motor going into this weekend. So with that being said, and before we even get started into this season and this tournament, I think it's important for us to look back at how last season started and at how last season ended.
We try, brother. That's all we can do.
BFL season is over. Humanity is crazy. So 2018 started at Kerr Lake, and I zeroed. And for a guy that's going to fish the entire season and try to accumulate enough points to make it to a regional championship, zeroing is the absolute worst thing that can happen. You basically get no points, and you're basically in the very, very, very back of the field. And to zero in your first tournament of the year means you're trying to play catch up all year long. It's almost like you didn't even fish the event. And that was super tough. That was really tough. We battled back, and I think we had a really legitimate shot going into our last tournament of the year, which was also on Kerr Lake. We had a legitimate shot at making it. But we zeroed again. And that was tough. That was very, very tough for me personally, because I put so much into last year, put so much into every single one of those tournaments. And for me to have that happen like that, it's fairly heartbreaking for me. And but we get a mulligan, we get a do-over. We get to start all the way over again. The situation is the exact same as it was 12 months ago. Season starts on Kerr Lake, and we have a chance to really set the tone for the entire season. While we're starting at the same place, things are a little bit different this weekend. Weather is different. Last year, the first tournament of the season was the very first weekend of March. We had a northeaster roll through. Temperature dropped 20 degrees overnight. Winds were blowing 20 to 40 miles an hour. It was just a hellacious weekend. But it's a little bit different now. Water temperatures are in the 60s now. They're actually eating topwater up there. If the weatherman is right, we're not going to have any kind of adverse weather. Things are looking really good weather-wise this weekend. So that's a positive for us. So what's the plan? What's our game plan going into this? Well, I've already actually started practicing. I went up this past weekend, and I struggled a little bit to try to figure things out, but I was able to figure a little bit out about halfway through the day, and then for about 2 or 3 hours there, I really kind of, did fairly well. So I wouldn't say I'm overly confident going into this tournament, but it is nice to know that I went up there the weekend before and I did okay in practice. Didn't catch any giant fish, but I caught enough to give you a little bit of confidence going into this weekend. Now, my practice is not at all done. I'm going up Thursday and Friday just like I've always have, and practicing pre-fishing and just trying to continue to figure things out. I think what we're trying to do here is try to find active fish and trying to figure out what those active fish want to eat. And so that's the goal in practice. Now, going back, earlier in the year, I had said I'm going to pre-fish a little bit different this year. I think pre-fishing actually hurt me a little last year sometimes, and then sometimes it helped me. I can look back and I can say there's been at least 2-3 times where pre-fishing on a Friday helped me, as I was able to find something Friday afternoon about 2 or 3 o'clock, and I was able to run back to that same spot the very next morning and catch fish. However, there's been some times where pre-fishing hurt me, and you get your mind made up on a certain pattern, a certain bite, a certain bait, and it just goes away and it's not there and you can't get bit and you become really frustrated. So I'm still trying to put together the details of how I'm going to fish on Friday, if I'm going to fish at all. If I do okay on Thursday, it's fairly likely that I'll just do a lot of riding on Friday. Try to find fish, look at my graphs a lot, that kind of thing. I've been doing that more lately, been doing a lot of riding and just looking. And what I'm really hoping to be able to do is to be able to find a pattern, be able to find something like, okay, fish from the back of pockets on main lake pockets. Okay, cool. You're on that, then let's just duplicate that across the whole lake. But sometimes it doesn't work out that way. And sometimes you can be on a pattern on Thursday and Friday and then that pattern goes away for whatever reason. So, we'll see. We'll kind of, go by feel on Thursday and Friday during practice. I think in practice before, I have stuck too many fish, Mike, and I think that hurts you, and I don't want to do that. So there's a thin line there that you have to walk in pre-fishing and practicing, especially, a day or two before the tournament. So we'll figure that out. We'll figure out the best way, the best course of action. I do want to catch fish Thursday and Friday. I do want to. I don't want to say, man, I haven't even caught a keeper in practice. I had that happen last year in Kerr Lake, last tournament of the year. It's, you got to have some kind of confidence going into this thing. This is a very important tournament for me. It's a very important season for me. And you kind of look at it like playoff football. You got to keep winning. You got to keep doing good in each of these tournaments. And it all culminates, at the regional championship. But in order to get there, you have to fish very well in all these tournaments, come in the top 45 in the standings, and, get there. And then, we'll have a shot at doing some really good things at the regional. The regional this year is on the Potomac. It's a river system. That's where most of my experience is. So it's a tidal system. I want to get there. I really, really, really want to get there. And I got to a regional 2 years ago, missed it last year. This is my third season. And I keep saying this is an important season for me because after 3 years of hardcore tournament fishing, and I'm not talking about just tournament fishing, local club stuff. I'm talking about really big hardcore tournaments, and this is my third year of it. At this point in time in my career, I should have this pretty close to figured out. We're not going anywhere this year that I haven't been before. I have experience on every single place we've gone. Some places more than others. But Kerr Lake, I've been there a ton now. James River, I've been there a ton now. High Rock, we finished second there last year. Smith Mountain Lake, we've only been there once, but still, I got some good experience there. So we're not going anywhere blind this year, and that's big for me. I think having experience in all these places is going to help me. As far as this weekend goes, my goals, I have one goal, and I've been thinking about it for 5 months now since we ended. Last season ended in this tournament, just catch one. Just get points, catch one 14-inch fish. I'm not going to sit here and say my goal is to win this tournament with 22 pounds. And, that's not a goal. My goal is just to do good enough to not zero. I know it sounds stupid and you should have bigger goals than that. But honestly, all I want to do is catch one keeper. I will gladly weigh in one fish because I'm so nervous about that. I'm so nervous about just not doing good at all, and spending all this money and spending all this time and effort and energy into this tournament and it not paying off for me. So we're gonna have to catch. That's it. I'm gonna be nervous, and I'm gonna just be on edge until I catch that one fish. If I can just catch that one fish, I feel like I'll settle down. So, but let's say I get out there and it's 11:30 in the morning and I haven't had a bite all day. My pattern's gone, the fish are gone, I can't get a bite, yada, yada, yada. I think it's really important for me to remember, stay patient and stick to your plan. This past weekend, I kind of had that happen. I went 4 hours out there and I didn't have a bite. And then from the next 2 or 3 hours, I really kind of smoked them. Once you figure out that pattern, you can kind of duplicate it, around the lake. And that's what I'm hoping for. It's really what I'm hoping for. But I'm going to be on the edge. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be on the edge until I catch that first one. Catch that first one, tensions will ease. And but like I said, I'm more experienced now. I've dealt with this kind of the pressure before of fishing a big tournament and struggling, and then all of a sudden it just clicks for you. So been here, done this, So I've practiced hard on staying patient, in tournaments lately, and just staying confident and knowing that it's gonna come. It's gonna come. You've put in too much effort for you not to be able to figure this out. And so I'm gonna remember all those things when I'm out there this Saturday. And this is a big tournament for me. So as far as weights go, what am I anticipating it's going to take to win this thing? I can tell you that there was a BFL last weekend out there. The Shenandoah went out there, and I took 18 pounds to win. So I'm expecting something similar, somewhere between 18 and 20. The Shenandoah division, if you can believe it or not, they only had 47 boats. And that's extremely low. You look back at last year, in their first tournament, they had like 150. It was on the Potomac. But it's such a low turnout. And I talked to a couple of people, and one person said it was probably because their regional this year is like, I want to say is it Hartwell or somewhere that really nobody wants to go, so there's no incentive to really fish that division. And then BFL, the FLW raised the prices of the BFLs this year, and I think that kind of upset some anglers. So I don't know why the turnout was so low. And I don't know how many boats are fishing the Piedmont Division this weekend, but I can assure you I'll be there. And I'm anticipating about 18 to 20 pounds to win this thing. Probably around 12 or so to get paid. I think the lake is fishing really good. English Choice had a tournament there last weekend, and it took, they weighed in a lot of fish. In that BFL last weekend, everybody weighed in fish. There was 2 boats that did not weigh in any fish. So, and I'm betting you they just had 1 or 2 and just threw them back because they didn't really care. So it looked like the lake is fishing good and people are catching fish out there. What's probably going to be is everybody's going to catch a bunch of 2 and 3 pounders, and it's whoever can get that big bite, whoever can get that 6-pound fish to put them over the edge. That's typically how things are. Whoever can find those big fish and get on that big fish bite is going to determine who wins this thing. Like I said, my goal, just catch one, man. Just get the points. If there's 200 boats fishing this thing and, I come in 150th, but I catch that one fish, that puts me in last place, fine, whatever. I just don't want a zero. I'm nervous about that. And like I say, I'll be on edge until we get that first bite, until we put that first fish in the live well. It'll be in the back of my mind that, hey, you zeroed here twice last year. This lake's got your number. But we put in enough time and effort. This month, I feel like, hopefully we'll be able to figure things out on this lake and have a good showing. I really want that. And, I want to do good, of course, but I will settle this weekend for one fish, weighing in 1. Just get me my points so I can go to Smith Mountain Lake next month and try to do a little better there. But, that's that. Game plan is just to, try to find a pattern Thursday and Friday and go out there Saturday and duplicate that pattern over the most productive areas where I think the biggest fish are. And that's that. Appreciate you watching. I appreciate all the support. I get a lot of texts and stuff all the time when I post a video, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for everybody that subscribes. And check back next week, because no matter how I do, I'll let you know. and I'm gonna give it all I got. Promise.